The topic of our research is mechanisms for ensuring the environmental safety of tourist destination. A practical in-result problem in the development of the concept of sustainable tourist development is the development and practical implementation of tools to implement the principles of balance in practice. Therefore, our main goal is to analyze these issues. Tourism is seen as a growing sector in contrast to the manufacturing sector. In 2019, about 1,500 million international trips were made. In countries with weak regulation of the market economy, tourist development can become a real threat to the quality of the environment. Therefore, the further development of tourism in general is possible only through its greening and finding a balance between economic and social development taking into environmental factors. Today, anthropogenic impact on ecosystem is characteristic of all sectors of the tourism industry and types of tourism, and it's observed in the vast majority of tourist destinations. A tourist destination, in the context of its balanced development, is a natural technogenic system of tourist recreational type due to the specialization of tourist activity and certain factors of environmental impact that will determine its ecological safety. With the growth of the tourism industry, there is a direct impact of natural landscapes and change in primary landscapes as a result of the construction of tourist infrastructure. Intensive construction of accommodation facilities, roads, airports, use of land resource as a building material for housing infrastructure leads to degradation and depletion of landscapes, elements of its radical change. In Ukraine, the problem of pollution of water and land resources from tourist facilities is very acute. Tourist infrastructure, especially on the coast, is developing chaotically without proper environmental justification. It is not uncommon for direct discharges of wastewater into the sea, the construction of hotel complexes on beaches within water protection zones, the development of unorganized tourism on the coast in the absence of sanitary facilities. Hotels and other tourist infrastructure use a lot more electricity than the average local. That is, with increasing comfort of the means of placing energy consumption increases. In many areas of tourist development, the energy system is not designed for such significant energy consumption. The issue of energy supply in the tourist sector can be solved through the use of renewable energy sources. Scientists have made such a justification. Air pollution and the problem of solid waste are also an environmental problem of tourist destination. The growth of the tourism industry leads to a high concentration of tourists and the corresponding infrastructure. This leads to air pollution from road, rail, and air transport. For many tourist destinations, there is a problem of solid waste management of tourism enterprises. The amount of waste is growing faster than the possibility of their disposal. The problem is complicated by the need to transport solid waste over long distances. Scientists have modulated the formation of solid waste within the Ivano-Frankivsk region and justified the need to take into account the increased flows of tourists in the development of road maps for waste management in tourist destinations. The environmental impact of tourist destination increases with the development of industry, and there is a need to systematize and mechanism for implementing environmental safety within the territories of tourism. We have analyzed and summarized information of the application of various measures and mechanisms to ensure the environmental safety of natural and man-made systems. We propose to classify them into regulatory, economic, controlling, and voluntary mechanisms for ensuring the environmental safety of tourist destination. And conclusions. The main problem in the development of the concept of the sustainable development of tourism is the development and practical implementation of tools to implement the principles of balance in practice. Ensuring the environmental safety of tourism in destination is one of the main priorities for sustainable tourism development. A favorable environmental situation within tourist destination is considered by tourism experts as an equivalent factor in the development of the tourism industry. Mechanisms for ensuring the ecological safety of tourist destinations are proposed, the use of which will allow to implement the ecological component of sustainable tourist development. Research on the effects of man-made load on the ecosystem of tourist destination is a promising scientific field in the field of environmental safety.